Welcome back to Renegade GCM. Today we have a gameplay video with Sanji versus Black Yellow Luffy. We chose to go second here. Opponent takes a mulligan. So we have like 3 2Ks in hand, a 7-drop Beckman, and a 2-drop Luffy that searches film for us. So they play out their Garp, getting the Monkey D Luffy. So here we can only grab film. So we get the 6-drop Yasop. Passing back to the opponent. So Luffy wants to go to 0 life as soon as possible to activate his leader effect. So we still need to maintain keeping their hand size down. So we can't just like sit back and just let them do nothing. So 6 into 5 here. That's a 2K. But yeah, we want to make sure that their hand size isn't getting ridiculous because when we do eventually try to go for game, we need to make sure that they're limited counter in hand. Now the downside is like, filling cards into their trash is just as good for them because they can replay it out through leader effect, through their gecko. So just a hard matchup, but it's not unbeatable. You just gotta play to your outs. So we did swing twice into them, thinking that they wouldn't counter that early, but they wanted to get down to 1. They want to get down. They want to get to 0. So this player here wants to get to 0 as fast as possible. And so they played Garp, and they drew the Savo, the little kid Savo. So they ended up playing a Flampy as well, which took a life for them. So they're down to 1 life. We're still at 5. Luffy is just a 5K. They haven't done any Luffy stuff yet. So 7 and a 3 here. They definitely wanted to guarantee that Luffy was gone for some reason, which is fine. All right, so we're at, it looks like 2, 4, 6 Dawn here. So we can play the Yasop. We're going to attack 5 in. Because they haven't really done any life manipulation, so they really don't know what's there, I don't believe. So here we're going to deploy the Luffy, getting a film, which we're going to grab the Shiraya. It's really good into this matchup. Then we're going to deploy Shiraya, and then we're deploying Uda, grabbing a red-haired pirate. We're going to grab the 10-drop Shanks here for the end game. It's a good closer. Best card in the deck. So they took their last life with Hayori. They're going to put a card back on top of their life, more than likely a Luffy. Yep. They're going to pop the little Luffy, get the big Luffy, and give their leader plus 2,000 for the rotation. The Shirai is really good here because it's going to get just as big as Luffy and only need a 1K to survive. So they do leader effect, putting the Rocket Luffy and Sabo in life, using little Luffy to get Rocket Luffy, then use Rocket Luffy to get rid of our blockers. So that was kind of rough. Alright, so we take that hit, we draw another 6-drop Yasop. We're going to go here, use Ben Beckman to trash their Luffy. We were debating about trying to swing in for 6 to see if they would. I know they weren't going to take it, and that would have put the Savo. They would have had no choice but the counter, but. So here they played out their Savo, draw 2, trash 2, using leader effect here. Their leader is currently a 7, 8, 9K. So they trashed this little Savo, it looks like. Which means they have Gecko in hand. Like, more than likely, they want to be able to have it in the trash so they can bring it back. So they get the 5-drop Luffy from the starter deck and then Savo. So they're going to play out little Luffy again, getting that, the 5-drop Luffy that can trash cards from your life to get 2,000 power. Play little Savo to get big Savo. So now Luffy is huge. He's like an 11, 12, 13,000. Yeah, so there's no counter in that. We do get the 8-drop 10K Shanks, and then we draw into another 2K. So here we're going to deploy the 10-drop Shanks. Here they have no life, so we're going to pressure their blocker. And then we're just going to pass it back because we couldn't touch that. That leader was way too big. I don't know, swinging there. was the correct call because they do want their Savo in their trash, but it's still, you know what I mean. If it's on the field, it's still the same issue. So it looks like they used their Luffy effect here to give it 2,000 power, but with our leader or with our Shanks giving it minus 1,000, we were able to counter out fairly easy. Playing the gecko down, getting the little Savo. I'm assuming they were going to bring back little Luffy as well, or yeah, little Luffy maybe. Because I don't think they have an extra Savo. I don't think they have two Savos in their trash as far as the 5-drop. So, yeah, they brought back little Luffy. They trashed another little Savo from hand to use leader effect, getting Rocket Luffy and 5-drop Savo. Rocket Luffy comes in, pops our Monkey D. Luffy, no big deal. Sabo comes in, drawing 2, trashing 2, making their leader 11,000. So here they have no life, 1 blocker, 3 cards. This is the prime opportunity. Now their leader's a 9K, but we have a 12K swing, which is probably going to get countered or it's going to eat their blocker. Because 12K into 9 isn't terrible. Yep, so they were able to use their counter for that. So here we're going to go 9, just going face. They were able to counter out of that. So here we could put it, like, if we know if we just don up everything, or it's going to use their blocker. So here we're going to grant the 4-drop Luffy rush. Like, they're going to have to give us the blocker or... So we're going to go after the rested Savo, and they gave up the other Savo instead. And now we're going to go 5 into that Savo as well. We're just at the end there, we knew we couldn't KO him, so we wanted to try to do a little board control. So they drew into their Garp, realizing that our board was too much to handle. Opponent scoops it up, but Black Yellow Luffy's not unbeatable. You just gotta sequence your stuff, pressure with a little bit of restraint to hold into the end game. But yeah, like and subscribe, guys. More content coming.